Today's lecture is on cryopreservation. Cryopreservation is a technique of preserving seeds, embryos, pollen grains, plant parts like meristems, apical tissues, embryos at a very low temperature, minus 196 degrees centigrade in the liquid nitrogen, so as its activity totally slower down and retards all the biological activities are conserved for a longer time. Cryopreservation is a term taken from the Greek word cryos, meaning frost. That is, it refers to the preservation in the frozen state. All of you seen peas are stored at low temperature, and it can be used in the months when the peas are not available in the market. Similarly, various germplasms can be stored at a very low temperature in liquid nitrogen so as to be used in the near future. Various germplasms of plants can be preserved through this technique. It can be stored. If it is stored in solid carbon dioxide, the temperature needed for storage is minus 79 degrees centigrade, and for storing it in deep freezers, the required temperature is minus 80 degrees centigrade. In vapor phase nitrogen, the required temperature is minus 150 degrees centigrade, and if it is stored in liquid nitrogen, then the required temperature is minus 196 degrees centigrade. Then the question arises, why we need cryopreservation? These days, gradual disappearance of various rare plant species are occurring. Their genetic resources can't be recovered if we don't have the germplasm of these rare species of plants. The normal method of storage failed to prevent losses caused by attack by pathogens, pests, climatic disorders, that is heavy rainfall, frost, drought, etc., and the natural disorders. Next one is the loss due to some political or economical issues. These methods could not save the viability of short-lived seeds of economic plants like oil palm, rubber plant, citrus plant, coffee plant. So the normal method of storing is overcome by the technique of cryopreservation. Cryopreservation deals with the study of metabolic activities and their responses in plant materials stored at very low temperature, that is minus 196 degrees centigrade in the liquid nitrogen, in the presence of some protectants known as cryoprotectants. Storage at reduced temperature has been very effective for tissue culture of most of the plant species such as potato, Pisum sativum, chickpea, Oryza sativa, Triticum vulgare, Cocos nucifera, Fragaria vesa, Saccharum officinarum, etc. So, now we come to the point, what's the method required for cryopreservation? The method is divided into the following 7 steps. First one is selection of materials. The materials depends upon the factors the plant material used are small apices of the root meristem, shoot apical meristem, embryos, seeds, pollens, ovules, protoplast. These are cryopreserved depending upon the need for the generation of the new hybrid varieties through the technique of plant tissue culture. Next one comes addition of cryoprotectors. During freeze preservation, we need cryoprotectants for protecting the selected material against these very low temperature conditions. The cryoprotectants used are DMSO, dimethyl sulfoxide, sucrose, glycerol, and proline. Among these, DMSO, that is dimethyl sulfoxide, is an excellent cryoprotectant because it has a low molecular weight. It is toxic. At low concentration, it is very permeable into cells and easily washable. The material to be preserved is put in the culture medium and treated with a cryoprotectant. Such a material is transferred to sterile cryovials or ampules, which are made up of polypropylene. Gradually, 5 to 10% of cryoprotectant is added into these small ampules. It is tightly closed with a screw cap. Next step comes the freezing. Freezing should be done in such a way that it should not cause crystal formation. To avoid this problem, regulation rate of cooling is followed. Freezing is of 3 kinds: rapid freezing, slow freezing, and stepwise freezing. Rapid freezing. This method is simple and easy to handle. After placing the plant material, the cryovials are put into the liquid nitrogen, which causes a decrease in temperature. Freezing is done quickly so that there should be least chance of development of crystals. Example: somatic embryos and shoot tips of Brassica napus, strawberry, and potatoes are preserved through rapid freezing. Next comes the slow freezing process. In this, rate of freezing is slower, 0.1 to 10 degrees centigrade per minute. This allows the flow of water from inside to outside. Extracellular ice crystals are formed, but not intracellular crystals are formed. Through this slow freezing, cryopreservations of meristems of potato, cassava, strawberry have successfully done. Next comes the stepwise freezing. It includes both the above freezing process, that is rapid and slow. In this method, temperature gets lowered by minus 20 to 40 degrees centigrade. Through this stepwise method, decline in temperature and formation of brick crystal is increased and good results are obtained through stepwise freezing method. Next come the step storage in liquid nitrogen. If the cells are not stored at sufficiently low temperature, injury occurs. So the storage temperature should be that stops all the metabolic activities of the plant material chosen, and so as to prevent the biochemical injury. Prolonged storage of frozen material is possible only when the temperature is lowered up to minus 190 6 degrees centigrade with the help of, this is achieved with the help of liquid nitrogen only. After storage in liquid nitrogen, this next step that comes into action is thawing. Thawing is the process of releasing the vials containing cultures from frozen state to elevated temperature between 35 and 45 degrees centigrade. All of you have done this in the house also. When you use frozen peas, first of all, before cooking, you put it into a bowl containing water at a normal temperature. So, what you do is thawing. Similarly, the plant parts which are cryopreserved are taken out from the vials and are thawed properly before using for regeneration of the plantlets. After thawing, requirement comes of washing and reculturing. Washing of the plant material that is thawed out properly, because we need to remove the cryoprotectants used in the second step. Cryoprotectants which are used to preserve the plant from any microbial attack. Now we need these cryoprotectants to be removed from the plant material being preserved. So, step is washing and reculturing. After this step, the plant is ready to be cultured in the lab condition. Then it is transferred to the field. After acclimatization in the lab, it is transferred to the field for proper growth and development. Now, through this picture, all the steps are being cleared. That is the first step. The first step, that is selection of the plant material. The next one, addition of cryoprotectant, which can be DMSO, sucrose or proline. After using cryoprotectant, now we need to freeze it up. Freezing can be done through rapid freezing, slow freezing or stepwise freezing. After freezing, it is needed to be stored in liquid nitrogen at a lower temperature, that is minus 196 degrees centigrade. After being stored in liquid nitrogen, whenever we require the material, it is thawed out and it is taken out of the vial and put into the normal room temperature, and temperature is enhanced up to 35 to 45 degrees centigrade. After the thawing step, thawing in warm water, the step comes to be grown in washing and reculturing. First of all, the cryoprotectant is washed away and then it is grown in the lab condition in a semi-solid medium of agar, and after culturing, the small plantlet which is grown in the lab condition with the use of auxin and cytokinin, now after acclimatization it is ready to be transferred in the field. This picture makes it more clearer. First of all, the plant material is chosen. Next, addition of cryoprotectant and then freezing in liquid nitrogen. Next step, thawing and then washing and reculturing and then transferring to the field. Now, some of the difficulties came in the pathway of cryopreservation. There are some problems which have to be overcome in the cryopreservation technique. The problems are the high specific feature of the some of the plant cell, such as their large size, abundance of water, sometimes cell damage occur during freezing, sometimes thawing results in formation of ice crystals formed inside the cells, and somewhat cell dehydration, gradual formation of large crystals of more than that can rupture their cell membranes. So these are the some of the difficulties which need to be overcome in the cryopreservation process. Excessive time and degree of plasmolysis are the reasons of cell destruction during slow freezing, since they cause irreversible contraction of the plasma membrane. So it is needed that the proper freezing condition and proper temperatures is needed for rapid change in the metabolic activities of the plant material chosen for preservation. Immediately there, all the metabolic activities should be suspended. Now, the achievements which can be achieved through the process of cryopreservation. Cryopreservation leads to some of the achievements like cryopreservation of some cell lines is possible. Now cell suspensions of soybean, tobacco, carrot, datura, and some somatic hybrid protoplasms of rice, pea, wheat and pea are successfully cryopreserved. Next achievement is cryopreservation of pollen and pollen embryos. Fruit crops, trees, mustard, carrot, peanuts, etc. Their pollen and pollen embryos are now being cryopreserved, so they can be easily available and their germplasm is safe for future use. Next achievement is cryopreservation of excised meristems. Potato. This is possible in potato, sugarcane, chickpea, peanut. The excised meristems, as all of you know that meristems, there is no viral infection in these plant parts. So if they are cryopreserved, so we get a viral resistant plant. Next achievement is cryopreservation of germplasm of vegetatively propagated crops. You know some of the vegetatively propagated crops like potato, sugarcane. If their germplasm is cryopreserved, then the entire genome of the plant is conserved and can be used for somatic hybridization, for hybrid formation, for culturing genetically modified crops. Next achievement is cryopreservation of seeds and embryos. Without cryopreservation, seeds can be stored because they remain inactive for some of the time of their life cycle, and after the arrival of the favorable condition they can germinate. But some large size seeds that are short lived and abortive, such as oil palm, coconut, walnut, mango and cocoa, these can be now cryopreserved and their seeds and embryos can be used for further generation of the new hybrid varieties of plants. These are some of the achievements of cryopreservation.